It's all about leaving space and being prepared, because it's a game of chess. And you're just trying to stay one step ahead. So we have a man here, and we are doing just some general driving. He's new. We've been working in the neighborhood on handling. Now he's good enough to come out here and just pretty much handle the car. I'm showing him. I like to break down things in a certain way where it's easy to understand. And what we're doing right now is just understanding like what it means to drive in the right lane, and the importance of understanding what the right lane is. It's a lane where people make right turns. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. That's what this lane entails. This is what it's built around. So that's what you're to expect. You know what I mean, Amir? Mm-hmm. All right, how you feeling?
Feeling great.
All right, good. So I'm just gonna show you a little bit of things as he's pretty much fresh and brand new out here on the big road, as we call it. Let's make a U-turn here. All right, so in a U-turn, what you don't do is just mash on the gas. Just take your time. There's two people you have to look out for. You have to look out for the guy making the right turn, and you also have to look out for the guy behind you. So again, don't mash the brakes on him. You're just gonna take your time and make a U-turn. You can go. Oh, well, that car is coming, so let's just wait for it. Stop right here. You're still gonna make a U-turn, so now go ahead. And then not straighten the wheel, straighten the wheel. Yeah, straighten the wheel. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead, go, go, go. Go, gas. Yeah, always go by what you see. So if you see that you're heading towards the sidewalk, don't, just turn it away, you know what I mean? But never just gas it. We have an exercise for the U-turn where we just kind of like keep doing it over and over on streets like this where we don't have to keep waiting at the light. We're gonna get into that, but how was your first attempt? A little scary?
Yeah.
Now I try to like talk you through it, because sometimes you get nervous, sometimes you make a mistake. Some people turn it too much, some people gas it too much, some people take it too slow. And I don't want to just have you blindly going into it. So you didn't do too bad. You had it good until the end. I don't know if you started to overthink it, but like I said, I have an exercise for that, and we'll get into all the little details. Today was just about breaking the ice and coming out here and getting you comfortable with just being out here. And I like to start off by getting you comfortable with the right lane, which is what we practice in the neighborhood. So you're completely familiar with that. But another thing tying into the right lane, right? When you're making those right turns, how do you communicate with the person behind you that you're gonna make a turn? Do you remember?
The turn signals.
All right, good. So those turn signals is the same thing. You turn it on, let them see the signal. That lets them know, okay, well, I'm gonna turn. But they don't know where you're turning until you start to draw your brakes. So that's exactly what you do for these right turns, especially that doesn't have a turning lane. But again, we'll get into all of that. I'm just letting the people know what we talked about. All right, so right here, you don't want to come down hot on them. You want to just come up coasting. The reason why is not that you can't stop, but let's talk about the part that we can't control. Sometimes we'll be driving and that guy, let's say he wasn't here, would decide, okay, well, I don't want to be over here anymore. And then he jump over here. If we're coming down fast and that guy jumps out, then that's an accident. But if you're coming up coasting and he jumps over, then you're prepared for that. It's all about leaving space and being prepared, because it's a game of chess. And you're just trying to stay one step ahead. But for your first time out here, you're doing a great job. Wouldn't you say? You're doing great. You see the space between us and that gray car? All right, how you just kind of gauge what the person on the side of you is doing is just by that flow and momentum that I told you about. So if we're driving and you see somebody fly down to the back of that car, chances are he's gonna jump in front of you. But we wanna slow down here because now we're going too fast. So use your brakes and slow it down a little. All right, that's good enough. But maintain your space. At least 2 to 3 cars, and that'll keep you safe. You're driving with the cars, man. You're doing great. Again, on the corner, just find a sweet spot and hold it. The car doesn't require much from you. And keep flowing with the cars. You don't want to start slowing down too much. See the light is red. Everybody's on their brakes. You want to start slowing down from here. But don't mash on the brakes. Just balance it out. This is what we've been working on. Just ease into it and just come to a coast. Not too much braking, no. You see how you're stopping too sharp? Always be aware of the guy behind you. Yeah, because if you stop too sharp, then what he's gonna do is hit you. So you just come to a nice coast and then just kind of creep up. All right, so you remember the rule of like seeing everything? You see anything ahead of you?
Nothing ahead of me.
All right, see how the lane ends? All right, so the mistake that a lot of people make is they feel like, oh man, the road is ending, I'm out of road, and then they just turn into the traffic. Remember, stopping is an option. So do you see any cars coming?
No.
In your next lane?
Yes.
All right, so don't go over because there's a car there. This is where you know that stopping is an option. This is the mistake that some people make just out of being nervous. All right, we also understand that cars can come from out of the neighborhood, right? So we're also watching here and we're watching over there. I'm gonna assist you with this since you're new. Turn on your left signal. All right, and then you can go over. But remember to go and flow. It's all about flowing with the traffic. Pick a lane. All right, good. But we also would have looked in the neighborhood to make sure nobody's coming out, right? All right, so a part of what I mean when I say see everything, don't just look directly at the car in front of you. In this case, there was no car, but look ahead, see what's coming up. You see that the road is ending, so that means that you're gonna have to merge in that person's lane. If you're in that lane, and you saw that the road was ending on the right, like if you're in the other opposite lane, then you're also looking over there. It still applies. The reason why is because those cars that's not in your lane is gonna come in your lane because that road ends. All right, so again, the right lane requires the most from you, okay? Now, why is that?
Because there's people making right turns into the road.
Exactly. So there's a lot of slowing down and speeding up. The biggest thing is to leave space. No matter what I say to you, the core of everything is to leave space.
Other people.
All right. So you want to leave 2 to 3 cars between you and the car in front of you, and pretty much all the way around you. The sides you can't control, but I'll show you how to control it and how to predict it. But just staying on the topic of seeing everything. What color was that light that we just drove over?
Green.
And it took nothing to see it, right? All right, so what I do is when I'm driving, I look ahead and I look at the color of the light because, again, it takes nothing from you. When you do that, what happens is you just kind of get to know what's coming. So if you're driving and you see the light turn red, that means they're going to stop, right? So you just pretty much prepare for that. Also, the one thing that I tell everybody is to believe what you see. If the light is green, don't go. If the light is green and all the cars are at a dead stop, don't drive through the cars. You stop because you go by what you see. So as funny as that sounds, you'll be surprised. You know what I mean? And that thing that we call nerves is serious. All right. He's killing it, wouldn't you say?